giving the rating 1 to 5 star to the existing buildings in the commercial as well as in the residential sector. But residential sector, it is not taken up yet as it is tool based, and we are going to start within couple of months. The tools have already been developed, and will make it operational within maybe 2 to 3 months. And for the commercial sector, the program is going very well. And under this program, we have given labels for 450 commercial buildings. And there is also another rating system, that is Shunya rating. So for Shunya rating, both commercial and residential buildings are covered. For that, only the parameters we take, like the energy performance index should be 0 to 10 kilowatt hour per meter square per year. And for Shunya rating, Shunya plus rating, that is smaller than 0. So that means that would be renewable energy integration. Then Bureau also, the update so far, that we have notified the energy conservation building code in 25 states so far. And in India, you will be happy to know that till now, 3,500 ECBC compliant buildings have been developed so far. And the states are in the process of incorporating more and more buildings in their building bylaws, so that more number of buildings will be developed in the near future. We are also organizing various capacity building program, and till now we have trained about 70,000 people under this program to train the people on low carbon buildings like and our ports. We also work with many international partners like Indo-US PhD program, Indo-Swiss B project, GIZ, UNDP, Indo-EU programs. So for your information, as you are the master trainer, also can be uh, incorporated, and you can join us in with Bureau of Energy Efficiency in this program. I am just giving the way forward and the next course of activities under this PhD program. So now we are going to notify this ECSBC commercial in the states, because earlier it was ECBC, now it has been modified as ECSBC. So again the states will modify this, and they will again notify at their state. Then we will notify the rules, and the states will also adopt these rules. But where is your role in this endeavor? That we have pool of master trainers who will actually help the states in ECBC compliant in the state level. So we have already we have 150 around master trainers who actually help the HDAs and the ULBs in complying the energy conservation building code. Now again we are going to create the pool of master trainers who will be trained on ECSBC, because those ECBC now is ECSBC. So again we are going to do this activity. So you all are requested that you may also participate under this master trainer program, so you can also contribute under this program. Then we are also creating energy auditor buildings. As you may be aware that Bureau is doing the certification program for energy managers and energy auditors. So now we have introduced energy auditors buildings. Earlier it was not there. Energy auditors were there who were participating for the industries and other auditing program and helping in that program, specifically for the buildings. So there also you can contribute and participate in the as an energy auditor building. So that you will be actually partner of Bureau of Energy Efficiency and the state designated agency who will help, and you will also be a part of this ECB building compliant. Then for the existing buildings, we have engaged TERI for preparing the manuals, because all this I talked about is the code for the new buildings. But for the existing buildings, for the retrofitting of the existing buildings, we are also preparing the manuals what would be the energy conservation measures for the retrofitting in the existing building. So that manual is already in the final stage, and we are going to launch these manuals, and the flyers are also there, so that if I am a building owner, then I can just go through the flyer that what were the simplified guidelines that for a building I want to in my building, what are the retrofitting that I want to do so that I can be low carbon building. Then another thing, we are also taking up the scaling of the star rating program. In the star rating program, now there are only 4 typologies. So data center is not there, hospitals, hotels are not there. So we are also widening our scope to include all these new typologies under star rating program, so that we can widen up. Then portals, as I mentioned, that we will deploy the portals for the star rating of these residential buildings as well. So another two important activity, we are going to actually develop the study material for energy auditor buildings. And also we are going to do the impact assessment for ECSBC implementation in the states. So those two new activities we are going to add up in under building program, that we are exploring how we can initiate those programs, those activities under this building program. So apart from this, I am very happy to learn that GGGI also initiated this SVR low carbon building transition program, which will actually implement our building energy efficiency program of India in many ways. As I can see that major components of this SVR low carbon building program of GGGI are actually in line with Bureau's initiatives in the building sector. So I would like to thank GGGI for taking this initiative, and also I would like to thank FICCI and other organizations for their partnership with GGGI under this initiative, that they are going to train many of the professionals that they will take part in this endeavor in the future. So that will actually really help in Bureau of Energy Efficiency to achieve our target. So that's why I'm also thankful to GGGI. So it's a real compliment to Bureau of Energy Efficiency being a part of this ALS CBT program. I wish GGGI, all their partners, FICCI, and all the master trainers a great success. Thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much for such a comprehensive address. Moving forward, I'll request Ms. Diana Dufault, First Secretary, Head of Division for the Environment and Climate Change, Federal Republic of Turkey Embassy. Please address.
Thank you, Mr. Sharma. I'm very honored to welcome you all on behalf of the German Embassy to this important workshop in Delhi today. This training workshop for our project of Asia Low Carbon Building Transition, ALCET, sorry, it's a bit difficult, is part of the International Climate Initiative of the German federal government. India and Germany are working together very closely in the field of climate change. This is being done under the framework of the Indo-German Green and Sustainable Development Partnership, the so-called GSP. We are cooperating in many fields associated with climate mitigation, adaptation, natural carbon sink, and in close connection with the conservation of biodiversity. The strong partnership is about finding common approaches and the best solutions, and it's also about learning together. And so far for today, I learned already a lot. I'm very impressed by how this project proceeded already since or during the last two years. So one core area of the Indo-German Green and Sustainable Development Partnership, the GSP, is the sustainable urban development. The aim is to support Indian cities in their efforts to limit global warming and be able to adapt to the impacts of climate change. India is positioned as one of the world's fastest growing economies. We already heard about it by Mr. Sharma today and where its urban centers will lead the charge. 60% of India's GDP is produced in cities. So India's urban centers are experiencing rapid growth and play a crucial role in addressing global challenges. By 2050, more than half of India's population will live in cities. So India is one of the countries most affected by the impacts of climate change. And different types of hazards and stress factors, as well as increasing climate and disaster-related extreme weather events, are threatening the large and growing urban population and cause growing economic damage. So there is a strong relation between low carbon building and also the impacts of ongoing climate change. The building sector in India plays a crucial role in achieving India's national climate goals by 2030. We already heard about some numbers that highlighted by Mr. Ganek. You told us about how buildings, I think 70% of buildings are yet to be built, and this shows how urgently we need to develop a low carbon building sector. So in order to do so, there's a need for paradigm shift in the approach. Building materials, construction, effective operation that also is sustainable and integrated urban planning will play a major role. This project is an attempt to bring a cohesive ecosystem through intervenes in technical, financial, and capacity building. And the German government is very happy to support this project under the International Climate Initiative, working in 5 countries, including India, with a duration of 5 years. I was part of the launching event here in Delhi back in 2023, and I'm very happy to learn how the project proceeded since. Capacity building and training are integral components under this project, which targets the various actors in the building ecosystem. We believe that the successful implementation of the capacity building program to train above 2,000 officials in India will not only improve the awareness on the low carbon buildings, but also help in achieving the project goals, for example, in reducing gas emissions, but also in mobilizing investments in the sector. I would also like to point out that gender equality is an important goal of any project under the International Climate Initiative, and so the German government gives huge importance to this aspect. I'm so happy to see so many women or female participants today here in this workshop. Congratulations to that. And today we are here for a training program for the master trainers. That's what I learned so far, and who are already experts, and you are already experts in your own subject areas. Today's discussions will reinforce the understanding about training needs and under this project. With that being said, I would like to thank you all once more for being here today. Thank you very much for inviting me, and I wish you a lot of inspiring discussions and fruitful exchanges. Me and my team at the embassy are looking forward to seeing this project unfold and progress in India, and to keep the conversation going. Have a wonderful workshop.
Thank you, Ms. Nico, and we look forward to many more collaborations in the future. Ladies and gentlemen, we have prepared a work plan and a training module. And I request Ms. Ishu Ghai and Ms. Neha from Triple GI to please come and present the work plan to the dignitaries on stage. Girish, should we step out or should we? Okay.
Can we go there or go there?
This is the work plan for 2025 under this?
Yeah. We can go back. So we also have a training module, the document which has been prepared. I request the dignitaries on the stage to please formally release this module. Can you pose it? Something.
So this module is just a sample. There are 20 such modules. So we could not show it here unfortunately because it's in the paucity of the time, but everyone will get it.
Thank you, thank you, thank you. Moving forward, we have a keynote address from Dr. Sailesh Kumar Agarwal, who is the Executive Director of the Building Materials and Technology Promotion Council, Ministry of Housing, Urban Affairs, Government of India.
Okay. Thank you, Rosette. Good morning to all of you. It is on the dais and off the dais. I am really honored to be part of this program, and thanks to Mr. Sonia Darnayak. I have a dual responsibility today. I have to give a keynote address, and I'm also steering this project in the capacity of the chairman of the Technical Advisory Committee and the Legislative Committee. So, tremendous work done by Mr. Sonia and his team. And I think this is first of its kind course where we are going to start a training program on low carbon. I think most of the things have been covered, but let me also put these things so that you can understand it better. See, all of a sudden, why do we talk about low carbon? All of a sudden, why we are talking about that we should go for alternate materials and sustainability and all those things. So let me give you, let me just present you a few data, official data. All of you know India is very fast developing. And if I have to put in terms of official stats, last census was done in 2011. That time we were 51% urbanized. That means 380 million people lived in urban areas. 380 million means 38 crore. And 20 years down the line, 2030, it will be 590, and by 2050, 815 million people will live in urban area in India. That means 81.5 crore. So we are rapidly urbanizing, and there have been several studies. It's commonly said that built environment, half of the built environment is yet to be built. And there was a report from KPMG which says that to cater to this urban population, we are fast urbanizing, and once we reach 50%, it is alarming. So we have to equip our urban areas with all kinds of facilities, amenities, and services. You all know. So there was a report, very interesting report by KPMG, which says that to cater to this urban population, India has to build 600 to 800 million square meter urban space every year. You won't be able to comprehend what does it mean 600 to 800 million square meter. It means a new Chicago city every year in 2000. So in next 10 years or so, we have to build a new Chicago city every year. So can it be done with business as usual approach? And when we say business as usual approach means if we continue to build the way we build, brick and mortar, and what we have is plasticity to frame construction. If we continue to build it, it is unsustainable. We cannot do it. Okay, that is one thing. So we have to resort to other ways of other ways of construction, which include materials, processes, practices, new technologies. In fact, nowadays we are talking about Internet of Things, Construction 4.0 is coming up. So all these things all of a sudden has become of great value. Also, just to add to this, I think, we have a representative from Germany. India is signatory to Paris Agreement. We are quite concerned about climate change. So I've just got a data for you, and I just want to repeat it once again, because all of you sitting here are professionals, and Government of India also started a mission called Lifestyle for Environment. And it's not related to me, construction sector only. Whatever we do in our day-to-day life, it has to be in sync with sustainability, in sync with the environment, in sync with the so that, there is a one-liner for Life Mission, let's be pro-planet people. Let's be pro-planet people. Okay? Think of planet before you embark upon anything you do. So that all of you know about nationally determined contribution, NDCs it is being called, and as we are committed to climate change adaptation, we have to submit. India has to submit a report every 5 years, and we are committed to become a net zero country by 2007. Okay, by 2070, India has to become net zero. One. Secondly, we have to reduce our greenhouse gas emissions by 30 to 35% by 2030. Okay, and another thing is 40% electrical power installed capacity has to be, through non-fossil fuel based. And there are a couple of missions started by Government of India, like National Sustainability Mission, the National Solar Mission, all those things. So all these things require us to revisit the way we do our construction, the way we, carry out our work and all. And that is why these things have become quite important and prominent. Also, to add to this, all of you know that India is aspiring to become a Viksit Bharat, or developed nation, to become that developed nation, we have to do everything pretty fast. So another component added to whatever we do is speed. So speed is also one of the criteria which will decide about material processes and all these things we do if we want to become a developed nation by 2070. Also, India is one of the fastest growing economy. We are the largest in the world, and just 2 days back there was an announcement that maybe next year we will become third largest economy. Also, this sector, construction sector, all of you know, is emerging as the third largest sector, and it may reach $1.4 trillion by 2045. Construction sector may reach $1.4 trillion by 2047. And also, I must compliment all of you who are present here, the master trainers. Construction sector is second largest employer generator, and the employment will go up to 100 million. 10 crore people will be employed in construction sector. There are more than 200 sectors which are directly or indirectly involved with the construction sector. Also, whatever we do, cities, all of you know, they are fast urbanizing. City contribute to the GDP significantly of 75-80%. So we need to be receptive, innovative, and proactive so as to foster sustainable growth and ensure better quality of living. What we are doing at the ministry, I will also tell you about that, because I deal with one of the largest affordable housing scheme ever heard of, ever implemented globally. That is Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana. So before that, let me tell you the strategy being adopted by the country is 3S mantra. It is called mantra. Strategy is called mantra in Sanskrit. 3S means, skill. We have to upgrade our skills, and that is why I must compliment GGGI that they have started a program. And if you want, see, Government of India has a mission called Skill India. So it's not skill. They say skill, upskill, reskill. Try to understand. We have certain skill. I'm an engineer, born engineer, but I have to upskill myself. Once I have reached to a level, then reskill. So you have to have skill upgradation throughout your life. So skill is one of the most important things. Second, as I told you, is speed, because to be developed country and to cater to that urbanization and other challenges we are facing, speed is the second thing, and third is scale. So, dear friends, every now and then when we talk about materials technologies, we are being given example of Europe, we are giving example of Singapore and all. Singapore is, less than the place where I live, there in Ashok Vihar. I live near Pithampura, so it's very small. The kind of scales India is dealing with. If I have to give you, we started Housing for All scheme in 2015, till 2024. We have built 40 million houses. 40 million. And in next 5 years, we plan to build another 30 million houses. 10 million in urban areas and 20 million in so scale. So please take it from me. 3S, always remember: speed, scale, and scale. Okay. And to end my discussion, let me tell you that we are very well aware that business as usual approach will not work. So in 2019, Government of India took an initiative and did a global housing technology challenge. I think I have been repeating this in all my talks. So in 2019, Honorable Prime Minister desired that we should bring the best practices, construction practices globally and transplant them to our country. So we organized a global housing challenge through which we have shortlisted 54 new construction systems. Okay. And when I talk about construction systems, that means let's replace brick. Why to make wall brick by brick? Can't we have a ready-made wall? Can't we have a factory-made wall which you just bring and install? Or can't we have a do-it-yourself kind of kit which you bring and just create a wall, a pre-finished wall kind of thing? And good news is that there are several companies in our country who are into this. Already, we have been working with two companies who were dreaming to supply a house on demand, on your site. So on-site, on-demand house. Just think you go to Amazon and you just, as per specifications, you just order and your thing is delivered. Similar kind of thing is happening in the housing sector. Means we are thinking in that direction that you just submit a plan and we will deliver you a house. So those kind of things are happening in the construction sector and we are very well aware of it. And this goes in sync with what GGI is doing. Once you do these kind of things, once you bring industrialization in the construction sector, you are bringing resource efficiency, you are bringing climate responsiveness, you are bringing energy efficiency, you are bringing eco-friendliness, and you are bringing disaster resilience. And all of this will lead to quality and affordable, housing. Okay, so these things, and also in we have launched Pradhan Mantri Awas Yojana 2.0, where we say to build 30 million houses, which includes rural as well as urban. So there we are very well aware that we cannot continue to build the way we build. So we have included low carbon materials. Thermal comfort is another thing which is very important and which is going to bother all of us. So whatever construction we do think of thermal comfort. I was discussing with the German representative that we have already crossed 1.5 degrees Celsius last year. 2024 was the warmest year in century or something like that. So thermal comfort we have included acid design strategies and things like that. And last but not the least, let me also tell you, all of you might be thinking, see, there are two kinds of, I think, Sonia was telling you, embodied carbon and operational carbon. So operational carbon, all of us are very well aware of. Thanks to efforts by we and others, continuously we have been having codes, grading systems and all, and somehow now we know that we require LEDs, we require efficient air conditioning and those kind of things. So operational energy, operational carbon, somehow we are quite aware of. But embodied carbon, what Mr. Gandhi was saying, still, like cement, we are using how much carbon dioxide it emits in manufacturing. Steel, how much is CO2 emits, similarly brick manufacturing and all those things. So we have to look at embodied carbon, and embodied carbon means once a material, how it is being extracted, manufactured, and then put to use, that all incorporates embodied carbon, and we have to reduce embodied carbon. And that is why government system, I come from government system, we follow general finance rules, that's a Bible for us. So there we have included, a chapter on life cycle cost in government system. That a project of certain amount has to look into life cycle. So let's not, get fixated by initial cost or initial cost of construction. Let's talk about, if you want to talk about sustainability, if we want to talk about low carbon and all, we should talk about life cycle cost. So let's talk about material and practices which can help us minimize the life cycle cost. Also, when we talk about life cycle cost, another new thing has come now. We talk about materials, so we talk about credit, isn't it? We talk about a material is put to use, that's it, and then we go. But nowadays we are talking about credit to credit. It's a circular economy, and I mean, a material should put to use for infinity. Okay, once the service life of building is over, those materials should be re-engineered, recycled, and put to use. Okay. So with these few words, let me conclude here. I must compliment Mr. Nayak, and I think he has chosen a right organization. FICCI, I have great regard for FICCI. They are quite professional people, and I think this is the right approach. My specialization is earthquake engineering, and ever since 2001 Korea earthquake, and since then we have been talking about master trainers and things like that, because once you have to approach these things systematically. If you want to, introduce low carbon life cycle cost, we have to, build capacities, because capacities are being lacked. And again, a compliment, because these things are not being taught in engineering and architecture. We are just given a feel of it, but we don't take deep dive into these subjects. So I sincerely hope the initiative taken by GGI will go a long way in sustainable development. So thank you very much for the effort.
Thank you, Dr. Agarwal, and I request Mr. Girish, Senior Director of FICCI, to kindly propose a vote of thanks.
Good morning, all of you. Dr. Shailesh Kumar Agarwal, Executive Director of Building Material Economic Promotion Council. Ms. Tanya Ikhoff, First Secretary, Head of the Environment Division, German Embassy. Ms. P. Samal, Director of Bureau of Energy Efficiency. Mr. Soumya P. Nayak, Under Representative, GGI. Ms. Julia Robles, ALCPT Project Manager. Mr. Ajay Sharma, Assistant Secretary General FICCI, Mr. M.A. Patil, Mr. R. Thurman, and other experts in the field of energy efficiency, Team FICCI, Team GGI. I think it is one of the privilege for FICCI to take this responsibility of imparting this training program on focusing on Asia low carbon building transition, with special focus on the building materials and manufacturing technology providers. As Dr. Agarwal mentioned, the importance of this component is the very new area which has been mentioned, that embodied carbon. I think this is an area where a lot of things need to be happened, and the training program which we are going to organize will address this embodied carbon much along the operational carbon. This is one important point which we will be focusing. Second point which we would like to mention is that one of the components we are covering under the program is the financial instruments, which are financial mechanism basically for the sustainability of energy efficiency. So it's again some request to Bureau of Energy Efficiency, because we need to have some amount of a good shaping in the financial role which has been played in our country, especially for the energy efficiency. So he is also closely working with Bureau. So some input maybe out of the program, after completion of this program, we will be giving to Bureau and respective on how the financial instrument, financial initiative can we have a key momentum in our country for those climate change and this thing, especially energy efficiency moment. I also take this opportunity to once again thank Dr. Shailesh Agrawal, Executive Director of Building Material and Technology Promotion Council. The council, which is, as mentioned, working towards promoting cost-effective and innovative building materials. Sir, our focus areas, where the target group which we are doing is basically the building technology manufacturer area. So we will be looking forward to have more discussions and interactions with your members or your people who are in that area, so that an effective training program can be happened. We in the past, we have gone through a lot of training program focusing on the energy auditors, energy consultants, architects. But I think very little amount of training programs or programs have happened for focusing in this group. So it's a great opportunity for FICCI to interact with those associations. Basically, if you look at, we have representative from Cement Manufacturers Association, Indian Steel Association. So here also we have invited those association representatives so that further training and program can be held for effectively for the very cause which Triple J is projected. So on behalf of FICCI and Triple J, once again, thank you for your presence and your special keynote address. And I request Sri Adesh Sharma to hand over the memento to Dr. Shailesh Agrawal. Thank you, Agrawal. In the morning, what we have given was we have planted 5 trees in Sikkim in your names. For all the officials, we have planted a 5 number of trees in your names, and the certificate provides a Google location, and you can also monitor. And it's in Sikkim. And once you visit in Sikkim, you can also see those trees planted in your name as a part of our green initiative. May I now request my colleague Pushpendra Naik to hand over the memento on behalf of FICCI and TRIPPLEI to Ms. China Daikoff, First Secretary, Head of the Environment Division. May I request Mr. Surendra Verma to hand over the memento to Ms. Pravati Nalani Samal, Director, Bureau of Energy Efficiency. The long association with the Bureau of Energy Efficiency, we being an accredited energy auditing community in FICCI itself, and a lot of projects initiative we have already done with you. Thank you for your presence. And also request my colleague Karishma Gist to hand over the memento to Sri S.P. Ganai, country representative India, Triple J. Thank you, Mr. Ganai, for your support and giving this responsibility of doing this training program 1.5 years. We will be targeting around 1,000 plus industry members in this particular group in the next 1.5 years. And the very important role which master trainers will be doing in the next 1.5 years for supporting these programs. And we will have a great interaction post inaugural session, this opening session. And once again, thank you for all the dignitaries in the dais, and also our support extended by Devki Energy, Mr. Parman, in preparing this manual, and Mr. Sirish Deshpande and other colleagues who have joined online as a master training for training the master trainers. I also extend thanks to all the master trainers who are physically attending, and we are also having some 50 number of people who are online attending this program. So put together around 40 odd master trainers will be completing this particular day session. So it's a day-long session. We will be having much more interactions and some modalities how we are going to do in the post-noon session will be shared. So once again, thank you for joining for this opening launch event for all the dignitaries, and we'll wait for a tea break for 15 minutes. And I request you all to join for a quick photograph. Thank you for a tea break, and we'll reassemble in 15 minutes.